This evening continues with entertainment from our state 4-H band. It's directed by Mr. Matthew Conaway. On Saturday, high school students from across Indiana traveled to Purdue and began working together to present the concert you are about to hear. That's quite a feat, as you will see. Matthew Conaway is Assistant Professor of Bands at Purdue University, and he was appointed faculty in August 2012. He serves as Director of Symphonic and Varsity Bands, Director of Boiler Brass, and Assistant Director of the All-American Marching Band. Mr. Conaway is an award-winning, internationally known composer for concert bands with over 50 original works currently in publication. He is also an accomplished arranger, and he has written for athletic bands at Indiana University, Purdue University, and many high schools and colleges throughout the country, so we're in for a treat. Please join me in welcoming, for the first time as Indiana 4-H Band Director, Mr. Matthew Conaway and the State 4-H Band.
Good evening and welcome to the performance here tonight performed by the Indiana State 4-H Band. As I think I was already introduced before the curtain went up, we were kind of focused on our setup change. My name is Matt Conaway. I teach here at Purdue University, and it's been a real joy to be working with these incredible musicians here on stage. These students are spanning the entire state of Indiana, just as those of you down here on the main floor are doing here during your experience on our campus. These students joined us 2 days ago. They didn't arrive on campus until Saturday morning, played a quick audition, and didn't even see any of the music that they are playing tonight until I believe it was 1:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. And in that short period of time, they've put together a really fun program for all of you, spanning a little bit of everything throughout the kind of music that bands typically would perform. That first piece was called Night Ride Through Metropolis, written by American composer Rob Romaine, and it was based on an absolutely terrifying cab ride he had in Chicago. You can kind of get the vibe of the piece from there. We are shifting gears completely now from a piece that was so aggressive to a piece that is just incredibly sensitive and beautiful. This next song was written in memory of a young lady who was fascinated and maybe even obsessed with colors. She would always describe her mood in terms of colors. She would always point out some bright color that she saw somebody wearing, whether it was a piece of jewelry, a shirt, the color of their eyes, the color of their hair. She was fascinated by color, and after she passed, the composer wrote a series of 4 pieces based on some of the colors that she loved so much and identified with. The one that we're going to play for you now is blue. And it was for her, at times, the color of sadness, but it also represented confidence and overcoming that kind of sadness. So you will hear it very sensitive and simple early on. It becomes very powerful later in the piece, and it ends every bit as beautifully and soft as it begins with. This is Blue by Robert W. Smith. Beautiful music, isn't it? We're going to go from blue to the blues. The St. Louis Blues, written by American composer W.C. Handy, is one of the most popular songs in the world of jazz. Hundreds and hundreds of arrangers and composers have taken their hand at this tune. It might very well be one of the most recorded songs in American history. This setting of it is very straight ahead. You get to hear a little bit of the melody from every section. You get to hear our bass line well represented, a couple of drum breaks in there, and a cool trumpet solo for good measure. This is the St. Louis Blues. All right, sometimes when a piece of music is out there, like those first two songs we played, it's written to tell some kind of abstract story, a wild taxi ride, tell the story of a young lady's passion for really making things better, for overcoming sadness. Sometimes you have music like the last one, where it's music for the sake of being music. Sometimes a song is just a song. It doesn't tell a story, it just is, and we respect that in music. Sometimes, though, music is written to tell some very specific stories. And the next one that we're going to share with you here is based on a Swiss folk legend around Mount Pilatus, the area of Lucerne, Switzerland. And I'll just read the program note that the composer gives you here because this sets the scene for all of the various sounds you're going to hear in this next piece. So the music opens as Mount Pilatus slumbers at night, shrouded in darkness and mystery among the clouds high above Lucerne. As dawn breaks, a band of courageous adventurers climb Pilatus in search of dragons to slay. After an arduous journey filled with breathtaking views and terrestrial beauty, the adventurers finally stumble across a dragon lair. They awaken the mighty dragon who must now battle the intruders of his domain. All but one adventurer are mortally wounded. leaving the human to beg for mercy and forgiveness from the dragon. Demonstrating great compassion, the dragon produces a magical stone from his own wounds in order to heal and save the intruders. And in doing so, the dragon has also placed compassion and tolerance in the hearts and minds of man, leading them to a happy and peaceful coexistence with the dragons of Pilatus. So as the music goes through here, you're going to hear a lot of happiness, you're going to hear the battle sequences, you're going to hear the sounds of the dragon early on, musically represented, of course, and a very uplifting, powerful ending. This is called Pilatus, Mountain of Dragons.
everyone.
That one's a workout for sure. Nice job, band. Nice job on the solos on that, too. The next piece has been a staple here at the 4-H events. This band has played this song I don't know how many years, but one of the first things that Mr. Kissinger, the director before me, told me is that I probably wouldn't last more than 1 year doing this if we didn't program this next song. It's called Instant Concert, and the song it's just fun. The whole song is at one speed from beginning to end, and it's only about 3 minutes long. But within that 3 minutes, you hear a variety of songs from old classical music to folk songs to you name it. And there are well over 25 pieces played in the span of 3 minutes, sometimes 2 or 3 of them at the same time. So see if you can catch however many of these melodies go flying by as we go through. There's songs in here that I never knew the names of them until I saw the music here. So it's a lot of fun to go through. The band has played this for many, many years, and here we go again. This one is Instant Concert. In the interest of keeping this moving along, I will just simply say our next song is from one of Disney's great animated films. One of its most recent, in fact. The name of this one is How Far I'll Go, one of the songs from Hey band, I think they've heard this one before. All right. This one I will... There we go. This one starts kind of soft, so we'll let it work in. And again, this is How Far I'll Go from Disney's Moana. Before we perform our last song of the night for you, a couple of quick recognitions here of the students who are seated behind me. As I told you, this band, this combination of players did not exist until Saturday, and this is incredible progress done in a very short period of time. And just so you can get to know the band a little bit, I'm just going to ask various combinations of folks to stand and be recognized here. First of all, can all of the first-year members of the 4-H band please stand? To give you an idea of some of the talent you see, we have several members of this band that haven't even entered high school yet. That's the caliber of player that we have right now. Thank you, guys. Let me see the second-year members, please. Second-year members of the 4-H band. Third-year members. We have a collection of 7 fourth-year members. And finally, we have 2 fifth-year band members of the 4-H band. We have another special recognition of sorts. This is a tradition that's been going on with this band for a very long time. If you can see our tuba section from where you are, tubas, go ahead and put your horns up for a second. You may have seen the U.S. flags on the tuba section. This tradition started many, many years ago, and the number of flags on their bell indicate the number of years of 4-H band they've done, and since who knows when, they've been referred to as our All-American tuba section. So, shout out over there, guys. Finally, some special individual recognition here. We have several students on the stage who are performing their final concert with the 4-H band this year because they have graduated and are moving on to other pursuits. So first of all, could these two people please stand and remain standing? We are graduating a first-year member, Michael Clark from Lake County, and a third-year member, Hannah Ross from Porter County. Please recognize these two graduates. And now we present special recognition to those students who are fourth and fifth year members who have played their final concert with the 4-H band this year. I will read all their names and their counties, and I ask that you please hold your applause until I've made it through all of the names here. And again, these students, the dedication to this program is tremendous. There are very few playing opportunities like this in the state of Indiana where players have multiple years to come in to continue to share their talent with a large audience like this and to have that joy of music making with their peers. So again, please hold your applause until all names have been read. Band members, when you hear your name called, please come forward and line it up the front here, and you will get your special gift from 4-H. Andrew Caldemeyer from Vanderburgh County, Megan Ennen from Hendricks County, Bradley Palmer, Noble County, Jamie Reed, Lake County, Rebecca Sims, Hendricks County, Ryan Sims, Hendricks County, Alec Ward, Tippecanoe County. These are your fourth-year band members, folks. And joining these folks are our two fifth-year members, the ones that have been doing this long enough, they almost should just give them the conducting baton and let them have at it here. These two fifth-year members are Ryan Hibbets from White County and Arlie Ingram from Warwick County. Graduating band members. It feels like graduation all over again, doesn't it? All right, thank you guys so much. And while they return to their seats, I have some thank yous I would like to pass on. First of all, to the two chaperones who have worked closely with these students. I can't tell you the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes and how much joy it brings to me to know that the only thing I have to do is be a musician, and they take care of everything else behind the scenes. This would be Jeff Holland, our Dean of Students, and Natalie Fowler, our Dean of Women. If they are with us, either come out on stage or stand up. And finally, our coordinators for the event that have helped put this all together on the office side of things. Tony Carroll, the State 4-H Coordinator for Band and Chorus, and Mary Brock, the State 4-H Office Secretary. If either of those individuals are here, let's give them a big round of applause and thank you. And finally, my last thank you, and I'm not entirely sure he's here because he was here earlier at our rehearsal this morning. That thank you goes to Mr. Bill Kissinger, the director of this band from 1974 until 2016. He set an incredible legacy. Let's thank Bill, whether he's here or not. And of course, you've been doing this with your applause throughout the evening, but a big thank you goes to the members of the 4-H band behind me here on stage who have given a great concert tonight with one more to go. Our last song of the night here before we get to some wrap-up announcements and so forth is, normally you want to end with the pop tune, as you were getting into on that last one. But I prefer to end concerts with what we call a barn burner, something that goes a million miles an hour, something that the only thing you can really do after it's over is applaud and drop the mic. So this song is a Bulgarian folk song, and a lot of music from Eastern Europe, you will find it doesn't have the standard danceable beat. All right, what we think of often, and this is really a sad state of things, but most of the time when we think of dance beat, we think of something that's just like, and that's it. Completely uncreative, but it's fun anyway. A lot of Eastern European dance music doesn't have consistent time. You might have 3 beats in a row that are normal, and then the next beat is a little bit shorter. And that is what this song does from beginning to end. It's an alternating meter the entire way through, and it's specifically designed to one particular folk dance called Bushimish. Bushimish is the name of the song that we are performing today. It gets faster and faster, features a little bit of everyone. The percussion section drives us along. This is enjoyable and a bazillion notes, and I'm really proud of the band for pulling this together. This will be our send-off for tonight. Thank you for being such a great audience. This is Bushimish and the 4-H Band.